Hello, hello. I wanted to talk today about something called work-life balance. So we've all heard the term work-life balance, generally suggesting work is on one side, life is on the other side, and we need to somehow balance the scale. Now, I want to, challenge that thought and give you a new perspective in a way to look at something. So for me, I find that that's a challenging one, and it leaves me feeling like I've failed or very guilty because at all times one of them is going to be above the other. So let's say your work is above your life, you feel guilty because you're not giving to your family, to your children, to your partner, and you feel like you're failing in this area. On the other hand, when you're doing really well in family, maybe you've been prioritizing your relationship, you're being calm and present with your children, you're feeling really good, you feel guilty or maybe unsuccessful because your work is suffering, because that's the lesser of the two. So it's always setting you up to feel pretty crappy, because whichever way you look at it, you feel like you're failing in one area or the other. I invite you to have a rethink around this and to look at the harmony triangle instead. Now, the harmony triangle, a triangle has three sides. As it suggests, there are three areas, and a triangle rather than a set of scales. So in your triangle, you would generally have the three areas that you are most focused on for this year in this season. So for me, it may be my work, it may be my family, and it may be, or I could say my children specifically, and it may be my fitness or my health. Okay, so they're my three. Yours might be something different, but say you pick your family, your fitness, and your work, right? You've got those three things. Instead, I invite you to think in those three areas, have you put something into each bucket? So have you invested in this week or this month? Have you invested into your family or into your children? Have you spent some time with them? Have you spent some quality time with your partner? Have you done some fun family things? Have you been, enjoying life with your family? Then tick that box, put some things in that bucket. Now look over at the work box. Have you been present at work? Have you been a good employee? Have you been a good team member? Have you been showing up and giving it your best? Maybe you've had a recent promotion. Maybe you've had a bit of someone said they really appreciate what you've done. Maybe you've helped out a colleague. So you can tick that box and go, yes, I've shown up. I've done my work. I'm helping other people, my colleagues, my company, whatever it may be, right? You tick in that box. Then your fitness or your health box, right? Again, I've taken time to work out. I've prioritized eating healthy so I can have energy for the other things in my life and for myself. And I prioritize being around because I want to see my children grow. I want to be a part of their lives for a long time. So they're my three things. I have put something into each of those buckets. Instantly, I feel less guilty because there's no scale that's being tipped. I've simply put something in each bucket. And yes, some weeks or some months, more might go into the work bucket, or more might go into the family bucket, or more might go into the health bucket. But that's okay because they're all getting a share. It doesn't have to be an equal share, and nor should it. At certain times, it's okay to focus on one of those things more. Maybe you've got a big sporting goal. Maybe you've got a lot of focus and a lot of stuff happening with family that you really need to spend time in that area. Maybe there's a big work project you're really focused on getting that next promotion that you've been aiming for. It's okay for those things to not all be equal. But I think when you see it as a quadrant, you've put something in each bucket. And if you want to set up three little buckets and put a little coin in each bucket every time you do something in each of those buckets, and you'll see that you're fulfilling all of those areas. It instantly feels more freeing. It instantly doesn't feel as stressful. I don't feel that level of guilt that I feel when I'm looking at work and life and I feel like there's some scale being tipped all the time. So let me know, how does the harmony triangle sound to you? Is that something you think you can work with? Because I know for me, in this season of life with young children, with a child who has additional needs and work and life and family just being really, really super busy and super hectic, I feel much better about this. So let me know your thoughts. Keen to hear.